Well, what's up, beautiful people? I'm still on the case of Ghana's anti-LGBTQ law. In this one, UN calls on Ghana not to sign the law, not to put it into existence. It's going to be a tricky one because Ghanaians, they've almost all approved it. Last time we saw a video of the House. I'm not sure how they call their house, maybe the Parliament. And they asked if anybody is against it. Not even one single person was. So it was unanimous. And in this video, the UN is asking Ghana not to sign the bill. Let's see how that's going to go.
Fortuné, our top stories. A leading Chadian opposition leader is among dozens of people killed in Wednesday's gunfights in N'Djamena. Yaya Dillo was said to be the main rival to his cousin and President Mahamad Idris Deby Itno at next elections. More reactions a day after Ghana's parliament passes an anti-gay bill, and concerns grow about the possible impact on the LGBTQ
That's Sam George. He's been the front liner, I'll put it like that.
community. Sudanese Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan is in Cairo to discuss the war in Sudan. A day after Ghana's parliament passes the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, fears grow about the possible impact of the legislation on the LGBTQ community. Takiwa Manu is a senior fellow at the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, a think tank, and she questions intolerance being legislated.
Yes, there is a lot of public sentiment against LGBT persons in Ghana as in many other countries. The question is, do you legislate this public sentiment of intolerance and hate into law and therefore empower people to go out and act, their intolerance? That is the issue. Sex is a private matter. So you have this new bill which even specifies how you must have sex, what implements you can use and not use. But it is a terrible invasion on the rights of privacy of people. And we keep pretending.
But if you call it privacy, it means we shouldn't know about what you're doing sexually, which, if you keep in your room, nobody's going to know. So nobody's invading your privacy if you call it privacy. I'm just saying.
But it is a terrible invasion on the rights of privacy of people. And we keep pretending that this community does not exist among us. They are here. They are members of the Ghanaian community.
And in Ghana, Justice Baidu has been gathering more reactions in Accra.
There seems to be huge support for this new legislation across the country, despite outright condemnation by some academics and human rights activists. Ghana is a place that is very, very religious, with up to 70% of the population being Christian. Through the 2 years that this bill has gone through the country's parliament, several religious groupings and leaders have pushed for its speedy passage.
And even God was against it. So if my country is against it, I'm not very happy with that decision.
Several activists have spoken up against this new bill, including the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, who has said that this bill, if passed into law, could dent Ghana's reputation abroad and further hurt the country's economy at a time when Ghana is going through one of its worst economic downturns in decades.
Even it's very proposed.
But when they say it hurts Ghana's economy, is it that investors are a big part of this LGBTQ community? How does it hurt the community? Or how does it hurt the country? Because if you're here to do business, shouldn't you be doing business? What are the specificities in the system to make this hurt the economy? Or unless there's a bigger agenda, that's the only explanation. If there's a bigger agenda to push, this on different nations, and the people who have this agenda are the ones that have the money and control the economy. And only in that way would that hurt the economy. Otherwise, I don't see it hurting the economy unless somebody can explain to me, and then I can learn from you.
Into law could dent Ghana's reputation abroad and further hurt the country's economy at a time when Ghana is going through one of its worst economic downturns in decades.
Even its very proposal seem to have opened the floodgates in this country of people attacking queer people, of people speaking out recklessly against queer people. We even had traditional authorities saying that they will banish queer people, and yet we live in a democracy.
This new bill would move to the president within the next 1 week. He would then have up to 7 days when he has to sign. If he decides not to sign, he has up to 14 days to write an official explanation to the country's parliament.
A boat carrying some 300 migrants capsized.
Okay, yeah, we'll end there. We just wanted to bring the news from Ghana. I'll put the link to the channel in the description so you can go watch the rest of the news if you want to. But let me know what you think about that one. You know, a few points were raised. 70% of Ghanaians are Christians, I think over 70%. And a lot of people, more than half of the population, support this bill. But the UN says, no, don't sign it. And they said it's going to affect the economy if it's been signed into law. I don't know how it's going to affect the economy. Like, I don't have a way to fathom that. I do understand when people say this is going to create an avenue for discrimination against people in this community. But also, it can create an opening to encourage the widespread nature of this, should I say, attitude or characteristics. Is going to bring like an influx. So I feel like this bill, a lot of people, it's not implemented. I haven't seen the bill in its entirety, but I don't think it's implemented to discriminate against these people, but to kind of like backtrack on the mindsets to cause an influx into people who would think, oh, I'm going to be a part of this community as an act of rebellion, you know, because we've seen this in America where some kids just want to be a part of this because they feel like the world is against them. So rather than speak to people, they incline themselves to these communities. So I feel like this is what Ghana is trying to discourage, a mindset. I think Russia has the same policy where it's like, you're part of this community, good, but do not publicize it. Be who you are and what you do to yourself and keep it personal. The same thing, I think even with straight people too, like in a lot of these countries, open show of affection is illegal. So you don't want you don't want to be too sexual or even sexual in any case in an open space. So do it behind your closed doors. I feel like that's what most of these policies are usually about. But I don't know what are the specificities in the anti-LGBTQ bill in Ghana. I need to go check that out. But in any case, the people are looking to promote family values. And also somebody said something, I don't know if it was Sam Judge, but he said the law of a nation should be reflective of the values of the people. So if the people believe that their value or that this bill reflects their value, then, so be it. So be it. The UN shouldn't try to stop that. If there's a problem, Ghanaians will deal with it. If there's no problem, then it's their country. Let them still handle it. Let them enjoy the benefits and the non-benefits. Anyways, smash the like button, share your thoughts. If there's anything you want to add, correct, critique, feel free to do so. Smash that like button, subscribe. Let's talk about this one. I really think your input is going to be vital in this one. So let's talk about it. Do you think the president should sign this? Or do you think the president should reject this? And also, I'd like to know how this might affect the economy. Now, regardless of where you stand, I'm just curious because I don't think this kind of bills should be things to affect the economy. I don't see how. If it was maybe an exporting bill or a bill that affects importation of goods and exportation of goods, this kind of bills could affect the economy. But an anti-LGBTQ bill affecting the economy, I don't understand. Anyways, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.